Hey everyone, it is Shea Fisher Durfey here, and be sure to tune in with me here at the Cowgirl magazine on my Cowgirl Mic'd Up session.
All right. Well, you just released your new song out in Cowboy that you co-wrote with Walker Hayes. Am I right? Yes.
Yes.
How are you feeling about that?
Honestly, riding with Walker is always such a blast. He is one of the most down to earth, genuine people you will ever meet. He is a family man. Honestly, I don't want to say that like not everybody's like that in Nashville, but with Walker, one thing with him is we could have a great time and it just be him and I in the songwriting room. Never, we'd always be talking about our families and things like that. After we'd write a great song, we'd go to the bar. I'd have a water, he'd have a beer, and we'd cheers, and then he'd go home to his family. Writing with him was different because he does things a little bit opposite to some, songwriting rooms I've been in. We write the melody first. So the entire melody, and then he builds the track on his Pro Tools. He's an amazing musician, so he will play every instrument and put it all together before we start the lyrics. And when we wrote this melody, we knew it was kind of fun. And we started talking about, because Walker's obviously not a cowboy, but he was like, well, what do you find attractive about cowboys? And I started talking about like the swagger and the way they walk and things like that. And he's like, oh, this is a song. And we were then talking about cowgirls. And he's like, the word cowboy and cowgirl both have ow in it. We should do something with that. And then this song wrote itself in like 45 minutes and it just wrote itself. And I knew I wanted to release it, but I also knew coming back from having a break from the music industry that I needed to release something a little more subtle. And I don't want to say safer, but take me back to Texas showed my journey and reintroduced me into the market. I feel like now I've had that. It's okay to release like a fun, sexy song. I mean, I'm a mom of three. What the heck? Why not just, have some fun? And the music video was the best because there were so many cameos from rodeo athletes and like Elise from the Cowboy channel, and then Chelsea, who won Farmers Wants a Wife. Tyson was in there, Chance Webster. It was really fun having my fellow friends and cowboys and cowgirls in the music video because normally it's paid actresses and actors, but I'm like, y'all did a great job. Like they did a really, really good job.
So I was watching your stories the other day and you had said all these different people were in it and it was kind of fun to like keep an eye out for them, as
Uh-huh.
you're watching it. So,
Yeah, no, it's exciting because getting back into the music industry, not knowing what people would, if they would relate to me anymore. Because keep in mind, I was 16 when I signed my first record deal. Obviously, I'm not 16 anymore. So I was a little bit nervous to see if people would embrace what I was doing and like my style of music as much as they used to.
I don't even know your previous style. Was it country before as well?
Yeah, so I got signed at 16, and when I got signed, it was kind of a Reba story. I used to sing the national anthem at rodeos, and then I had a country music artist in Australia named Steve Ford offer to take me on his tour as his opening act. And that was kind of where I got my start. We were doing all the rodeos. Basically, his tour followed along with our major rodeos. So I was competing in the rodeos while performing. But I think what set me apart at 16 was I was performing in my cowgirl hat, and I really was a true cowgirl. And
Mm.
at the time, there just wasn't that in the Australian market. I will say, when I listen back to some of my music from back then, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm glad that I've came a long way because but if people could relate to it and those young girls loved it, I feel like I've had a lot more life experience now. And when I hear some of those songs, I'm like, how was I really able to sing about love when I hadn't even been in love yet? But now I've definitely had my fair share of heartbreaks. So I feel like I can really, really relate to some of the new music I have coming out.
If Ow and Cowboy were a rodeo move or like maybe a dance move, what would it look like? I mean, bonus points if you want to dance it out, but
Oh, girl, you don't want
no
to see me
pressure.
dance. Like, you don't want to see me or Tyson dance. I shared our daughter a video of us dancing Cowboy, and she's like, what is dad doing? I'm like, oh, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I actually have been approached, funny story, about some people wanting to create like a line dance to it. You know how they create these like
Yeah.
viral videos? I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna really have to practice if I've got to learn this and perform this on
Yeah.
stage. But I did have dances when I used to perform. Performing is what I love to do. So I love the dances and all that stuff. But I need a lot of work. I mean, if you want to come up with a dance, come on, let's do it. Yes.
Okay, well, you're not just a singer. Speaking of which, you're a mom, you're a model, you're an entrepreneur, You're all these things. What hat, I mean, you wear all these different hats. What hat would you say that you enjoy wearing the most?
That's a really great question because I do wear a lot of hats. I love wearing the hat of wife and mom. I will say that it's a blessing to be able to have the opportunity to do both of those. But I love wearing the hat of a singer again. I really do. I've rodeoed, I have businesses. All of the hats are different. It's kind of like my Americans. I have like a white, a black, a brown, a gray. It just kind of depends on the day of the week which hat I like to wear the most. But in this phase of life, having spent 6 years really pretty much putting my career on hold, focusing on family and Tyson and businesses, it's nice to be able to feel like I'm I'm doing something for myself again. So I'm loving this era and being able to show other women that it's okay. You can be a mom, you can have businesses, and you can still do things you love to do because it took a while for me to realize I'm not being selfish getting back into the music industry. I'm actually being a great example to my family, showing them that I am going to keep chasing my goals and dreams as well. It's needed as a mom because if you don't take time for yourself, it just you're not as good a person for your family. And I know, and I felt like that too. Like I was doing great at all the other stuff I was doing, the businesses, Tyson, the kids, but I deep down was missing like me. And I have so many girlfriends that are like, I don't do anything for me anymore. And I'm like, I get it. Like I really do because your sole focus becomes the kids and everything else. But I mean, yeah, you gotta take some time for you. And I'm not talking go get like pedicures and go have drinks and like I mean like something a hobby. You need like something that lights you up.
Yeah, well, you're a great role model of it. So thanks.
Well, I try hard. I'm not perfect, but I try hard.
Do you have any like cowboy wisdom that you rely on when you're juggling everything? Something like make sure you give a firm handshake or.
I mean, I think as a Western person growing up in the rodeo industry as a cowgirl, I think we learn from a young age that we're going to get bucked off and have to get back on again. And but also that's the same thing with failure. Like we are going to fail at things, but I feel like as a little girl, when I would get bucked off a horse, it would make me more determined to get back on and it not happen again. So I've always taken that into business or music and things like that. If something knocked me down, I would just get right back up and I'd figure out how to make that not happen again and just move forward from it. So I really do think the Western industry can teach us a lot about um, not being afraid to fail because on a daily basis we come across that. And I think a lot of people that aren't Western people don't understand that. They don't have that in their day-to-day life. So I think that being a country person does give you a hand up. I really do believe. And I think it makes us stronger and wiser than a lot of people.
Okay, as a creative and as a mom, you've had all of these moments since you were 16 and onward, and probably even before that. But what's one moment that has really made it all feel worthwhile for you?
Some of my highlights have been watching what I do through my children. Seeing that the girls now they watch me sing the national anthem at the Texas Rangers game, and now they won't stop singing the national anthem around the house. And sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, that maybe we turn it down a little bit, but or seeing like our son with a rope in his hand copying his dad. So knowing that those little eyes are watching, it really does make all those hard moments worthwhile because I know that they're seeing what we're doing and they're following in our footsteps. I mean, I could say that the moments that were the best were red carpets and performing at the NFR. All of those were great, but people forget about those. What people remember is your kids and your family and all that kind of stuff.
What is next for you after this release and it's doing so well on its music video and everything? Do you have any upcoming projects or exciting
Yeah.
things?
So for me, I have lots of things that are next. Obviously, I'm a big dreamer. I like to think big, but my goal is to get back touring because touring was my favorite thing to do. So I would love to be out touring again. It would be amazing if we could line it up with some of the rodeo schedules, some of the bigger rodeo events, the American, the Hondo Rodeo, the NFR. I would love to do that because then Tyson's there, the kids are there, and it makes sense. That's kind of how I grew up touring. But I'm going to bring, any opportunity that comes across my path, I will do. I'm just really excited to get back out there on stage and have my family with me, supporting me, And as we know, Tyson's unretired. So we're going to be juggling a lot of traveling. But good thing we like the miles in the road and the kids are good travelers. So I feel like I obviously juggle a lot of hats, but when I took a break from music, I really tried to get creative in business because I knew that if I wasn't on stage, I needed something to keep me busy. That's when I actually started our Shea Michelle Buckle Company. I remember sitting in Nashville knowing that I had to make $30,000 a year to survive and to live in the US. My record label had shut down in Nashville, and I was just put in a really, really tricky situation. Do I move home to Australia, pursue my career there, or stay here? And no, I really felt like God had opened the doors here for me and I needed to stay. So I started the Belt Buckle Company, lots and lots of cold calls, lots of rejection, but I just kept knocking on the doors. And I'm very thankful I stayed because I then met my husband, Tyson Durfey, and now we're here in Texas, all thanks to not being afraid to fail and a lot of hard work that came with it, that's for sure.